A bit of a rough showing from Neon in game one, but we're looking to see if they can set themselves up to be able to hit back and send us to a game three. And well, I feel like a Dawnbreaker is a pretty good position to start in.
It is for
10
sure.
seconds
I want to see if
remaining.
TNC look to immediately counter it with just
5
something that's
seconds
going to be
remaining.
able to prevent that split pushing ability, right? Either something that's great at ganking or something that's able to prevent
Team pick.
the Solar Guardian joining into the team fight. They go down a different route with the Enigma and the Monkey King.
Dire
What do I
team
want to see here?
ban.
Bristle?
Puck.
Puck. Okay.
Radiant team ban.
We haven't seen it, I
Dire
want to say,
team
at
ban.
all. Have we seen
Radiant
any
team
Alchemist
ban.
in C? Maybe like one game, right?
Not that I
Dire
can
team
remember.
Radiant
Teams have
team
not been
ban.
putting a lot of emphasis on the Elk, because I'm seeing in Europe people are playing this as support. China's playing this as support. A little bit of carry
a
as
3.
well. Yeah, and a 3 as well. I think actually Ponlo's team just tried to play it as a 3. So
Didn't work out too well.
yes, did not work
10
out,
seconds
unfortunately.
remaining.
The reason I bring it up is,
5 seconds
in
remaining.
my eyes, I think there are 3 counters to Enigma in the laning stage. I think Enigma is basically only played as a 3 or a 4 these days, and you need to do physical AoE damage. And in my eyes, that's Kunkka, who Neon themselves have banned out, Bristleback with his Quill Spray, or Alchemist with his Poison Spray. Those are the 3 things that you need to be able to prevent Enigma from dominating the lane. So I would be very surprised if Neon don't go down the route of having some kind of way to be able to do that. Because again, I'm going to keep saying it until people start doing it. 60% Magic community on those Eidolons. Like, as long as your micro isn't horrible, they are probably going to live, they are probably going to
Radiant
split,
team
and then
pick.
you are probably going to get bullied out of the lane.
I
Dire
really like
team
that
pick.
Dusabem. I think TNC have done a really good job to how to protect their Enigma. In the second phase, of course, it's going to be played by Bok as well. They just often give it to Bok. He's an
Dire
exceptional
team
Enigma
pick.
player.
Radiant team.
Well, he's with some black holes. He is a good player, but sometimes the black holes aren't super on point. The rest of the game is good, though.
So looks like it's going to be, well, we got Beastmaster 3, of course, Puck going to be played mid, a little bit of flex between where the
10
Venge and the
seconds
Dawnbreaker is going to be going. Of course, we can still have the Dawn 1 or not, but there does have some
5
combo here
seconds
for Neon
remaining.
early. You know, your coil into swap is going to be really nice. Regardless, you have great ways to be able to cancel the BKB black hole, so it's kind of force Enigma to go
Dire
for a
team
Lincolns as the
ban.
game goes on.
Enchantress.
Radiant
Kind
team
of want to
ban.
see this Venge as a 5 this game, just because, again, it's probably going to be a Bok Enigma, right? And Vengeful Spirit has the Wave of Terror, just more minus armor to instantly chunk through those Eidolons.
I
Give me
think
a Bristle or an Alchemist.
I think if you don't have someone
10
to help
seconds
right click
remaining.
though the Eidolons, then it's sure it could be nice,
Oh,
but
of
it's
course.
just waste
5
of yeah.
seconds
So you
remaining.
need you just mentioned heroes that can be good with it. So yeah, well I think Bristle is definitely going to be one that they're
Dire
looking for.
team
It
ban.
can kind of go back and forth though. With I guess it's the same with Conquer, like Midnight Pulse being percent damage, but you can always swap defensively if required, and it can also
It's fine.
really help push the tempo early for Neon.
Pushes the tempo, deals with the Enchantress. You don't need to worry about the Untouchable at all. You've obviously got a
10
ton of AoE,
seconds remaining.
damage coming through from Puck, Dawnbreaker. If you just have a Bristleback,
5
using the Quill
seconds
Spray for that as
remaining.
well, it's great. I really want to see the Bristle come out here for TNC. What do they
Radiant
even have
team
left to
ban.
pick? They're either their mid or their carry
Dire
Yeah,
team.
they banned
for
Blood.
Radiant
TNC.
team pick.
Yeah, that's cool. I was just going to say, with the Bloodseeker being banned out, what are we looking to protect that? And well, Bristle is definitely someone that has some difficulties playing into the Rupture.
I feel like Neon have been watching some European Dota because this is something that they like to do a lot, and
10
it's
seconds
just
remaining.
solid, right? What do they have to be able to deal with the Bristle? Like, some people
5
might say,
seconds
"Oh, you can
remaining.
like Razor into this," but honestly, Razor isn't even that great into the matchup because Bristleback just runs away from you, and if you're chasing him, you're just giving him more times to be able to use the Quill Spray, right? Like, I think it's totally fine to be able to play a Razor into this. So they need something that's going to break as well as lock down. Not really seeing too much of that.
Yeah, they banned PA as well.
You may now select your heroes.
Honestly,
Your way Pudge.
I don't-
Last time we saw it, it won.
I don't think there were many carry picks that there was an option for them to go down. I feel like this was a very difficult game considering Neon have a lot of BKB answers, so you can't go like Jug Lifesteal. Also, they don't match up well versus Bristleback. You mentioned Razor. He's going to struggle into all these BKB piercing stuns. So I don't hate this. And you did just mention that, yeah. Last time we saw the Yowie Pudge, he really, really had an incredible game. That was also laned with Mavis on the Enchantress. This is a scary lane duo that TNC have.
I mean, it's an Enchantress into a Beastmaster, right? Like, you might just say, oh, we can just go the axes, but that really prevents the strength of the hero in a big way.
You reckon?
I mean,
Because I'm seeing a lot of Europe still favor the axes. I don't know. I wouldn't say as definitively. Like, I feel like people are feeling like it's a bit... You're more comfortable with going down that different route.
I don't know. I think you can get mana starved really early if you go down this route.
Okay.
Like, how are you going to be able to get a good amount of farm early on is my main concern. And you've got not just the Enchantress, but also a Pudge who's able to instantly kill a Helm of the Dominator creep if Enchantress isn't there, as long as he lands the hook.
How we feel about this second game? I think in general, Neon's lineup is much better than game one. I'll get that out there before you say whatever you got to say.
To me, it pretty much
Prepare for
depends on
battle.
where they're going to be laning this Dawnbreaker and Vengeful Spirit. I think if Chuan goes top, I would really like it, and I think they're going to have a good enough time to make this Bristleback strong enough to be able to carry the game. If Chuan is bottom and it's the Dawnbreaker paired together, I'm not as confident, especially considering Ser has not bought any of his regen. He's buying it now and might be ready to send it out to him. Okay, hopefully he doesn't need that for this potentially impending team fight.
Do you think
Who's going to get caught?
We'll hold that thought.
Mavis is the one. Each one who's gone a little early, maybe.
Oh, he's actually going to hook Enryu into the middle. Still first one, it's going to be picked up. Carlo trying to hit back with a triple boundless strike, but...
late.
Yeah. It looked like they were kind of ready for that with how Mavis was positioning on the Enchantress. Like, it was kind of teetering back and forth. Like, he thought the attempt was going to come and then they just bait into a hook under the tower, but... It was a bit late on the reaction on TNC, so there we go. Neon, they're able to find first blood. They should be able to get at least... Yeah, they're going to be... Okay, Chuan did get it. I don't know.
Cheeky, cheeky. Able to just snare the bounty away as it's on the hook.
And we got the first blood over to Avatar mode as well. So last game we saw the puck. Krish's puck was able to find first blood. This game it's going to be opposite, and will be Avatar mode with first blood.
Okay, at least he's got a decent amount of mana on the Dawnbreaker on his top side. What's up?
Sorry, I just saw Avatar mode got his range creep denied. Sorry, keep going.
It makes this matchup that I was talking about not quite as bad, right? Like the Dawnbreaker, you just want to make sure that you're level 2, you're able to instantly get on top of the Eidolons. What's he even doing with the Eidolons here on the Enigma? He's having to TP out already on block. Oof.
Yeah, so fun lane top, huh?
Absolutely. You know, Box can have a great time. I mean, he can't even go forward to deny the range creep. He will eventually, but Seth's still going to be able to secure a bit of damage onto the Eidolon boys. There we go. One's already removed. This is what I'm talking about. You got to make sure that you're responding to this Enigma, because if you could take away his laning potential, then it's just incredibly strong.
I really wonder if Bok just goes jungle and Carlo takes this lane and just looks to get some experience. Maybe the other way you can do it is just Carlo looks to drag, but I don't think they have the option to lane head-to-head into this now.
It's good times.
The other question is, like, I can see him going for the Urn of Shadows, so maybe it's going to be a Spirit Vessel game that he's getting on the Enigma, which I wouldn't hate, because in my eyes, unless you absolutely decimate the early stage, you cannot go Blink Dagger into this Neon draft. Like, they have so many ways to be able to cancel it out.
Let's look at how some of the other lanes are shaping up for the moment. Got bottom lane with the Yowei carry Pudge. Going to be some exciting stuff. And Ryu does go for the 101, so no point in the boars. Kind of expected because the Enchantress is going to lose his Cory though, unfortunately.
Has been killed.
You'll not thrive.
But how does this hook work again with the mana?
If you hook a rune, it doesn't cost any mana.
Nothing about the creep, so yeah?
No.
Good lane, what's going on here? Should be a very good matchup for Krish. Alright, Avatar mode. Already putting the pressure onto the Tiny. Does have a Selv coming out though, so Krish going to be able to keep his resources at a decent stage.
Pudge ferrying a ring of health all the way over from his own secret shop to be able to have in the lane. Of course, it's really that level 4. That's the huge strong point for Pudge, that first point in the flesh heap.
Oh.
My sprite.
Hang on, that's a lot of damage. Missile onto the axes. Mavis does have the Nature's Attendants though, so it's going to be able to heal up through the burst.
And I mean, if you've picked this draft, they've just itemized very well on TNC, right? Magic Stick or Mavis on the Enchantress, Yowei, Magic Wand. You might be able to spam out those wild axes, but if you're not able to steal away the creep, mid lane, is Avatar mode okay? I think he should be. Or unless, Krish.
Yeah, they saw Chuan rotating mid though with that Observer Ward, but Krish is still going to be in some trouble. Hang on! Oh, he went over the tower! But he doesn't have the extra assistance coming through with the creep wave tanking up the damage. But Carlo's nearby. Able to get that last second stun to step in with the right click damage. So Carlo does even out the trade, but it is the mid laner going down and getting nothing out of it.
Box also not really getting anything out of this top lane, though. That's the issue, right? He is just being completely zoned out by this Bristleback. He can't use the Eidolons to their full effect.
Carlo is doing a pretty good job, though, with his rotations early on. It stopped them from being able to pull the small camp, and Bristle is often a hero that always shoves in the lane, and also Enigma is someone who can always pull the lane back as well with the deny, so Bok is at least getting some experience, which is going to be an important thing.
Yeah, of course. Like, he's got the 1 point in the Midnight Pulse as well, just to be able to contribute if they do go for these super deep dives. Obviously,
bottom lane, and Ryu should be able to get a kill onto the Beastmaster, trying to funnel his way into the tree. Oh, awkward with the hook, but Mavis will get the kill regardless.
Didn't even need to give him the clap on the tomato.
Tomato Man!
Give him the clap.
Don't run off.
Clap him!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh,
Clap
alright.
them cheeks.
Wait, whoa! What the heck? Dude, what is going on? Can't be saying that shit.
Can and will. Wow, the S word? What is this?
Hang on. I thought I had to keep pace with what you were saying.
What do you mean? You just gave him a little pat on the cheek.
Oh, he's got another Tomato Man. Enru's got to be a bit careful here. They pulled the
Making
wave.
a bolognese in this bot lane.
What? So horrible.
Good.
Mid lane. To Krish. A few raindrops to help out. They might be able to get the toss under the tower.
Wait up.
Mavis got the Tomato Man wrap into the river. Oh no, not like this. Chuan is going to run right into him. Has to go the other way. Not the Hellbest Smasher.
The power of bolognese, man. What can I say?
Are they going to try and put some damage into this tower now? They've still got the catapult. Got Tomato Man. Got the tree
wood.
wall. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
Some smashed tomato.
Tiny's just a not so clever name then.
How many points he got in the enchant? Yeah, he's got 3, so it's going to do a lot of damage. Look at this tower already down to half. Oh, don't let him get the last hit.
Come on, sprites.
So we saw this last time when Yowei was playing Pudge. He was getting multiple solo kills on the offlaner. So again, Yowei proving to be a big issue here.
I'm a little confused at how Enigma has somehow managed to basically level out in net worth with the Bristleback, but not only that, also overtake him in experience. That's honestly very surprising to me. They might go for a kill. They have to be careful if he drops the Midnight Pulse that he doesn't knock Carlo out of the trees. Maybe just waiting until it's away from the tower as well.
Man, TNC are playing so well. I really love teams that utilize the Enchantress rotations early. They're going to try and step in. There's the Midnight Pulse laid down, but Belly's just able to get out of range. Yeah, I'm a gigantic fan of seeing teams utilize this Enchantress rotating early to take towers. Because yes, you don't have this Dark Troll Summoner really to use anymore, but still if you put more points into the enchant, I mean, how much bonus damage? Bonus 50. Like, that is plenty extra. And it's even just a 1200, say, health creep to be able to tank the tower. So you get that early tier 1 tower, you leave Yowei solo bottom. Look, he's against 3 heroes and they can't do anything. You set up on top lane, Bell. They got the black hole off, 4 heroes on TNC. Like, they're playing this game perfectly. This is not a team that is looking like they are 1-3.
They're playing it pretty well, but to be honest, he didn't need to be diving that deep in the lane. Like, you had the Enchantress vision because of this Observer Ward that you put back inside your own jungle. He was somewhere inside the side of the base, and you know Enchantress, like you said, enjoys rotating. So I feel like if Black Hole's available, if Enchantress is off the map, if Monkey King is off the map, you can't be standing right next to a tier 1 tower, an enemy tier 1 tower. I mean, the push is just going to continue. You've got all these Skelly boys, you've got the Eidolons, you're going to at least need to pop the Glyph on this top side, I feel. Maybe not. You're going to pull the Eidolons away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're only just tickling bottom because of the 1 point in the axe, sorry, 1 point in the boars. So it is going to go down eventually, but again, it comes at a pretty grave cost where TNC have gotten a lot of map control.
Someone needs to respond to this top side, and it's going to need to be the Puck. Like, you've used the Glyph, Eidolons are here, Eidolons are split, rally. It's going to be rotated through. Some nice damage coming through from Avatar mode to be able to stop that, but it also gives them a lot of information about where this Puck is. So where can they look to make a play in the meantime? Doesn't really feel like they could do much of anything just because they've been able to claim 2 towers before 10 minutes. So I think TNC are very happy with the pace of this game.
Carlo, somebody cancel says TP. Christian Mavis going to step in. You'd love to give the kill to Krish, trying to get him closer to that blink timing, and yeah, they're going to do that. Really important to find the blink at a decent time, and they should get the D-ward as well afterwards. They saw him place the ward down. Kind of surprised Mavis actually positioned it a little bit to the north.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Someone's always just going to need to address this top side though, man. Like, Enigma's just going to keep doing this. Push, push, push. You've even got the 10-minute catapult wave coming in the next wave that's coming through here. Level 8.
I was just going to say, do you want to see TNC maybe smoke to top and like intercept a hero that's trying to come to defend this eventual push that we're going to see in like 15 seconds?
I guess maybe, but I mean, I feel like Neon could just very easily put someone a little less high priority there. Like, if Cez there, at least he pulls the creeps away from the tower. It forces the tower to hit the Eidolons. And, well, they've done the right thing. Of course, he could still join at any time with the Solar Guardian if a team fight does break out.
So I'm very intrigued to see how this carry-to-carry matchup is actually going to shape up. I feel like Pudge, with all the damage that he's actually going to get from the rot, especially with the Ag Scepter coming out shortly, Dismember can be a lot of damage as well if he's able to find a bunch of strength. I do want to hold that thought real quick, as Bok is going to be in a bit of trouble. Twine in Avatar mode smoking to top. Should be an easy kill for them to find. Even Cez going to feel the need to use the Solar Guardian just to kill off Bok before the reinforcements show up.
Might have been thinking that the black hole was available.
Okay, nice. That's big. Twine almost goes down to the Eidolons, but you cancel Avatar mode's TP, and now Yowei's in the hook, but he's unable to get the Dismember at the last second, so Avatar mode should be able to escape to the right side.
Monkey's just going to keep chasing him. Well, maybe not. He just backs off. wants to push out the lane fast enough. But again, that's the rotation that you need to be making, right? You need to stop the Enigma from just completely taking away what feels like half of your map. All that TNC are really waiting for is that Aghanim Scepter on the puck.
Excellent.
It's 500 gold away.
Silence. Behold.
All right, how is Mr. Bristle looking? Vanguard completed. Scepter next for him as well. So yeah, back on this carry-to-carry matchup, I'm intrigued because Dismember's going to be really nice versus kind of this tanky hero. It's not percent damage, but there will be a lot of... again, you can always use swap defensively though, but I think late game too, Pudge is always a hero who's going to have big issues to be able to deal with physical damage, as Chris is going to toss back Chuan. It's a little bit of damage mitigation thanks to the swap, and TNC aren't going to stick around for too long.
I really like the timing of that movement in the mid lane, right? Because it just took so much attention away from top that Enchantress, Enigma were able to take it out. Again, it's a tier 2 tower removed 13 minutes into the game. So it's all about the map control. It's all about just preventing Neon from being able to snowball with this Bristle. Like, it's going to be a long time until he gets that Aghanim Scepter. That's the big timing that you get. And in my eyes, he should have been able to come out of that laning stage in a much stronger position.
So what do you feel like is the road now for TNC with the tier 2 tower claimed up top and the Scepter on the Pudge? Are you looking to put a little bit more emphasis around Roshan? Do you want to maybe take your next fight by the triangle and take that location away from Bell?
I don't think you even need Roshan, right? You know that Neon aren't in a position to be able to take Rosh, and even if they felt like they
Avatar
were...
mode mid lane. He's going to be in trouble. Solar Guardian used defensively along with the coil, but instantly hooked into the middle. At least he does keep his puck alive.
So what I was saying was, I feel like you know the one place that Neon are on the map, because have a look at the vision that's taking place. You know they're not in your jungle. You know they're not in their jungle. So you know they're not roshing, and they haven't had a chance to take either a tier 1 mid or top, so that you know that you're not in your triangle. They can't rosh, so just...
I've been in trouble. Meanwhile, down to the south, they've run into Enryu. 3 heroes surrounding the Beastmaster. A quick and easy kill for them, and they're going to look to try and move this into a little bit of damage onto the tier 2 mid.
Alright, so they've got basically 0 map control now on Neon, now that they've just taken away this triangle. So there's nowhere for Neon to farm. TNC could do whatever the hell they want.
It's big for them. 30 seconds now without being able to farm around your triangle. Going to your top jungle is going to be scary because you haven't been able to place wards there. So really, the next play for Neon is kind of to smoke to get out of the map. You can maybe smoke with like a coil into swap to try and get a pick off, and then try and get a ward down afterwards, and yeah, that's going to be the play. Carlo,
try.
Ooh.
I mean, they don't really have ultimates. No Solar Guardian. It's basically only coil swap.
I think Avatar just saw Carlo leaping through the trees.
It's not the target you want, though.
Nice read. Really nice read from TNC.
Behold. Silence.
We were saying between games that TNC, while their series record doesn't really show it, they certainly look a lot better than a 1-3 team. I was saying they probably should be 2-2 if they capitalize on that series that they had at the start of the DPC against Summit, but, well, if they're able to close this one out, they'll be 2-3. They'll be a little bit safer against the prospect of relegation.
Yeah, they versed some very difficult opponents as well. I mean, they probably versed all top 3 teams in Army Geniuses, Execration, and Lilgon. You know, the Lilgon and Execration series went game 3. Unfortunately, they lost those. And then against Army Geniuses, well, they 2-0'd them. And like you said, if you're able to beat Summit, then it'd be maybe a different story about TNC. But definitely a team that has showed promise and continuing to show promise in this series, and in particular this game 2 as well. 16 minutes in, they're into Roche.
Not the fastest Roche-taking lineup, but again, they've just got full map controls, so what can you do to be able to respond to this? I mean, you can scan it all you want, but you just, I believe, have the Blink Dagger coming out for the puck. You've got a bunch of ultimates, but it's just a little bit too slow.
Oh, I didn't know that the Pudge's Scepter reduced regen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be quite nice for us to Bristleback.
Mm-hmm.
Is it HP, no health as well, just regen reduction? Because I don't know if the wording's messed up.
Pretty sure it's just regen.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Kind of like how Necro's talent is one of the worst in the game. Is level 21. I wanna
Oh
say.
my god. Yeah. No, I hate that. Always actually frustrates me. Seh. Gonna run into Carlo. Bok's gonna jump in as well. They will not require the ultimate from Bok to be able to secure the kill. And the map is continuing to shrink down.
And Ryu, it feels to me like they're just playing around this Helm of the Overlord timing. He's gonna
Avatar
TP back
mode.
now, but
It's gonna run straight to Yahweh. They get the first stun into the chain afterwards.
Are without
What is Avatar doing there?
I don't know what Enryu's doing here either. Like, he finally had the one safe place that he could farm on the map. I understand that you don't want to be losing too much of your map, but he TP'd back with not enough mana to use the Primal Roar. He was 400 gold away from the Helm of the Overlord. He had an Observer Ward to play around, so he could be a bit safer and maybe force someone back on the bottom side, but instead, TPing back means that he's just going to not have too much impact for the next couple of minutes or so. I mean, if he died, it would be even worse. They're thinking about it. They're kind of grouping around this triangle area, protecting the outpost, playing around their Observer Ward. TNC are doing everything that they're supposed to be.
Really nicely done, TNT. Trying to protect their ward on the high ground. And they'll secure a kill throughout that sequence of events. And now they're going to be onto the Bristleback as well. They're starting to stack up the quills. Bell, about half health to play with. They're going to push them back to the right side of the tier 2 tower.
They converted the Hawk as well, so they've got great vision around this tier 2 tower.
Even a DD as well
The,
for Avatar mode.
Is under attack. Radiant
I'm not going to let you look. What item do you think Krish has?
I meant Krish as well with the DD. Yeah, well, you're happy. Sounds like you're happy. He's charging up Revenant's Brooch. There's a lot of damage on your way. Avatar mode is in with the coil as well. Controlling 3 for the moment, but Krish on the side. What a combo. 2 are gone just like that, but they've got the Solid Guardian back in the middle. They swap instantly to get rid of the black hole, but they have to be cautious about fighting into the Midnight Pulse. All the percent damage is just ripping Neon apart as they cannot stand their ground and take the fight into TNC's ranks as charging in they go behind the tier 2 tower. As Carlo swipes a kill over onto N, Ryu and TNC continue to reign supreme in this second game.
I wouldn't say Carlo swiped anything. He is a big part of why they won that team fight. Just great vision being provided, allowing Krish to get that Blink Avatos off, instantly comboing it together with the Wukongs. Boundless strike follow-up. He's just playing a fantastic game. Big part of why they were able to deny out so much of the map. And, well, unfortunately for Krish, the item that he had delivered, the Midas, didn't really provide too much of that sustainability, which meant that after that great combo, he still did fall down. But, you know, you understand it. You're going up against a Beastmaster. You want to make sure that you're getting rid of as many Hawks and Boars and all that you want. At least he's got the Helm of the Overlord, no?
For some reason, I defaulted to thinking... Well, I don't even know if it's defaulting, but yeah, I thought he was just back on the park. Man, Carlo's got he's got an orchid. Something that we didn't really speak about too much of this Monkey King, and overall how I think teams are able to play with it. In regard to having like an Enigma 3, you want like that melee 4. I think it's also a very good matchup versus the Puck, just a long range catch and having a lot of mobility to chase him down. And I think your item build is very flexible as well, so you can go down this kind of single target control if your team is requiring it. So I've always been a big fan of the Monkey King. I think it's a hero that is a bit undervalued at the moment, but do you feel like there's a reason why we're kind of not seeing this hero as much as a 4?
To be honest, no. I feel like it's just one of these things where a hero for absolutely no reason falls out of the meta. I mean, we've seen it in China when you and I were casting a bunch of third-party tournaments. Death Prophet was picked in literally every single game, and then a week later, not at all, with no changes. So it might just be people experimenting with a few things. You know, it's still midway through the season, so maybe they're just wanting to ramp up some different strategies.
Well, we do have some items starting to be picked up. Scepter on the Bristleback was really that big one we're looking for Neon. And as soon as they completed on Bell, they're ready to fight. A smoke on 5, charging the way into the mid lane.
Punch has that BKB though.
Avatar mode.
Very important.
With the coil. They're onto Bok, which is going to be important. A BKB protecting for the moment. Defensive swap. Bruiserback. He's still stuck inside the Midnight Pulse. Down goes your carry. And now without the damage to continue on with this team fight. Neon, oh, they got to get out. Delta splitting left, right, and center. Just hoping that one of their members can evade this team fight. But they will not be fortunate doing so. 3 go down as TNC again just looking way too strong in these fights.
There's no damage, and they've scanned out the puck as well. He was able to snatch the invis on your way. He was waiting for the mana to be able to TP out on Avatar mode. Hook.
Oh, hate to see it.
Dire's middle
This is
tower
just out
is under
execution.
attack.
Simple as that.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Joey being very patient on the bottom side, but won't be able to secure anyone other than his level 18, so level 3 Dismember now available. He's got a bunch of those Flesh Heap stacks, building into the Boots of Travel and the Blink Dagger. Of course, the Eternal Shroud just provides so much sustain. Really, for me, it's Chuan. He needs to get up into this Spirit Vessel, force out an earlier use of the BKB, maybe pop it onto the Tiny, for example, who doesn't have that BKB just yet.
And Mavis is farming up their triangle. Like, he's even got Drum's Hurricane Pike. So this is a Enchantress that, if you don't deal with him, he's gonna do a lot of damage in these fights. Remember, it is pure damage with the Impetus as well. So I was not gonna be liking that.
You definitely not. Bok right now is just following your way around, just saying, all right, well,
he's got the high ground advantage. Uh-oh. An instant roar to hold them back from the threat of the black hole, but the rest of the TNT swarming into their location, instantly cutting them off. Zenryu should be able to TP out. I don't know. Bell is going to be fortunate. Actually, the Boundless Strike is still on cooldown, so they won't be able to stop this Bruiserback from charging out of harm's way.
You like that they're going for the wave push, though, on a couple of their heroes.
Well, it's a triangle. Christian Carlo in conjunction together. They're going to miss the Boundless, but he should tick out to the Orchid. And they won't even make sure there's a possibility for it not to work. Chris put in the color as well, but the Mummy will fly on out.
Yeah, Puck and Doorbreaker are doing what they're meant to be, right? This is the strength of Dawn.
Like,
might die
is it
for
going to
it,
solo? What's the play? Oh, no, he's got Yowei coming on over. I was going to say, is anyone going to join him? Is he forced to drop the black hole? But no, Yowei instantly to top. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, they're also on to Chuan. Rich being able to jump in. Hurricane Pike's actually going to buy him a little bit of distance, but the Razorback still can run directly into the middle, stepping on top of Krish. All the minus armor that Bell is able to stack up thanks to the Nezuko. They do secure a pretty decent kill. Their 7th of the game for Neon, so you'll take whatever you can get, and well, especially onto a position 2 like the Tiny.
Yeah, and this is what it enables you to do, right? Like, if you're pushing these other lanes, sure, you might die on the Dawnbreaker, but as long as you get the kill up.
Oh, you're happy to drop Black Hole if you want for this. Soligati coming through once again. Afterwards, though, Bok pops the BKB into the Black Hole. They go, just setting up for a 2-man ultimate. Is Yolway even going fishing, but they might just look for the Helm of the Overlord creep instead. Easy gold.
Easy money, and, well, they don't have Glyph. You're going up against this full lane of push. You've got the Siege Creep as well. Don't even need the Aegis of the Immortal. You've got the high ground potential if you want it. Just letting Mavis do it for now. I'm kind of surprised that they're backing off. Like, Bristleback is your damage.
Maybe, I guess, with Roche being up.
Yeah, I guess. What do they even want on who wants to get the? Oh, I guess you give it to Tiny, the shard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you're happy to give it to Tiny. No one else is looking too valuable in a game like this. There was an item I was... Oh yeah, Carlo's almost got Scarred, which is crazy in itself. Wait, well, he's higher net worth than the Bristleback, so I just noticed that. Goddamn Carlo 7-0 and 11. Oh, I love... Okay, that is so... Alright. They keep one person inside the pit, and they're going to smoke around, so the scan connects. But they do scout this out with a Wave of Terror, so they're going to back up to the high and go look at the wraparound, because Yolway onto the Puck's location. And now without avatar mode, what is the play? A double boundless strike, and Yowei just leaping into the middle. Neon again trying to do whatever they can, just evacuate from this location. Only 2 heroes will be fortunate in that attempt.
I'd say it's pretty certain that TNC are going to win this one, so that's the sort of thing that I want to ask about in an interview. Like, who's the person that makes that kind of call? Because that was pretty next level.
Yeah, it's honestly a play I've not seen before, where you just keep someone in there, not even hitting it, but just to tank the scan. It's a bit unfortunate, I suppose, to have a way to scout out from afar, but regardless, I mean, you caught out avatar mode, and that's all you needed. Instantly, the formation was in shambles, and who did they give? Yeah, so the shards over to Krish, and they also gave him the Aegis as well, because he's going to be that high ground sieger now with the Ag Shard. Oh my god, Yowei. Man, this dude on the Pudge. It's something that teams are going to have to start considering a little bit more. Ooh. Krish? Well, that might be easier. Just toss him back instead of going for the hook. The damage is stacking up there with the quills. Look at that! Oh, that's a way to end the game. Buck with the black hole onto 4. They're going to be playing off the back, the buybacks. But even then, it might not be enough. Mavis is out. Carlo as well. You do get Buck along with Yowei, so they're not out of it just yet, but multiple buybacks.
Yeah, buybacks, racks gone. You're very satisfied with being able to pick all of that up. And, well, now, Krish, a lot of the times we see that mid-tiny kind of drop off, but he's certainly gone for this attack damage style. I mean, it's kind of tempted to go for the Dawnbreaker kill, but maybe he's just thinking that, well, we want to get that kill when the rest of the team is alive so we can convert it into a push as well. Killing him now would just have him back available after the dieback for when the next eventual push happens. So for now, Krish is going to be nice and patient here. Talk about burst damage if you wanted the Enchanted Quiver for himself, but he's just going to give it over to Enchantress. Why not? Hurricane Pike, Boots of Bearing, nearly level 20. He's nearing level 20. Enryu, you're going to have to be careful with the position of that Helm of the Overlord, my friend.
Wait, where is it?
Oh, just wondering, like, once Enchantress hits 20.
All right, yeah, okay, yes. Sorry. So my mind was trying to get this fight recap working. I wanted to see the damage coming through from the Pudge. It looks like it was mainly physical. Because my next thing was going to mention that I'd like an AC picked up, but look at the read from Yowei. He's gone this plate mail route, so yeah, I really like this response from the Pudge. Even phase bits as well.
Shiva's is fine too.
Oh, man. You love to see it. I really think the way back in is just that kind of, if there's even a way back in, but the best chance opportunity is where Bristleback somehow is able to turn his back and just get the quill stacking up, because he was definitely their main damage dealer, and that was how TNC lost a couple of heroes. So I was going to say, yeah, maybe Krish goes AC next instead of the BKB, but because they are all lacking a little bit of damage. Well, Monkey's at, well, sorry, I should say armor, but Monkey's okay, 24. Tiny's got the grow. Enchantress 14. So it's really just the Enchantress and the Enigma now, because Pudge went plate mail and phase boots.
I really want someone on Neon to be holding on to this this Fey Grenade. Like, you're going up against an Enigma with Linkens. Yeah, he's probably going to pop the BKB at the same time, but I still feel like it's well worth it. Even just using it onto Carlo at some point, so he's not able to leap around and take the fight when he wants to, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a nice way to be able to give them some vision as well in the tree line. How long is the damage over time? Is it 7 seconds?
I feel like it's... Good question. 7 seconds, yeah.
Bottom lane, who they've run into. Krish onto Mr. Enryu. Maybe... Hey, wait, what? Who's beyond godlike? What's going on? There's a supporting Enchantress. No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with
the untouchable slow.
Did he?
I think he's having a bit of fun. In case the Midas didn't give it away.
Nice blink forward to be able to dodge the missile, and now Carlo And Yoe as well. Oh no, Bell brought back Prior. They need to keep him alive, and the Solid Guardian is not going to be enough. That should be game as TNC
Under attack.
a clean 2-0 victory and a celebratory black hole for good measure.
Those are the black holes that we're more used to
Hey,
seeing. But,
come on now.
yeah, no, it's all in good fun. I mean, you and I were casting some Oz Dota recently where we saw a few of those celebratory black holes, but TNC, they earned this one for sure. Like, they just... While I wasn't super confident in the draft, I feel like Neon could have absolutely taken better advantage of the fact that they had a good counter to the Enigma. It just never happened. And Carlo played an amazing game in my eyes. I would give him the MVP. But really, it was just everyone on TNC working together as a team. It feels like their strategy has improved a whole lot in terms of how they make a lot of these mid-game rotations. So maybe, though it might suck for this season, in that they're probably not going to be in one of those promotion spots, still being 2 and 3 in the series score, maybe that loss against Summit at the very beginning was the kick up the butt that they needed to be able to say, hey, we can't just go in with our like pub strats and assume we're going to win, because this is a lot more intelligent TNC than I've seen in quite some time.
I think, again, they verse a lot more of the trickier opponents now as well. They've still got to verse the other 2 open qualifier teams, Atlantis and Made in Philippines. Made in Philippines definitely, well, and Atlantis, both 2 and 3. So definitely tricky opponents compared to your likes of your Execration, your Lil Gun. They did beat Army Geniuses, of course, as well. But I think TNC with this series victory have given themselves... there's always a threat of still being eliminated. Anything can happen with how kind of close the bottom 5 are, honestly. And even if Neon can win a couple of series, but it's... anything can happen, but I think at least for TNC, it puts them in a position where it's very, very tricky now for them to be in a position where we're speaking about them being relegated.
I'm going to say it. It's the Danog guarantee. I think TNC are safe.
Yeah.
What I saw today was enough for me to say, like, they're not a relegated team. They are good enough, and I hope they stick with this roster for a little bit, because I feel like they've got a lot of potential to be able to progress forward with this. Who knows? You know, some of the players might even get better offers as a result of their individual play, because I feel like you've certainly got a lot of potential. Maybe not for this season, but, you know, if they're safe, if they're not getting relegated, they're going to be in those TI Open qualifiers, and I think they could make a lot of shock results happen.
Same. I think they are a team that is continuing to grow. We are going to be able to get an interview with Mavis, though. So I'm going to drag Mr. Mavis in. Mavis, hello, you there? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear.
Perfect. Okay. Firstly, I just want to start off by saying, with how Danog and I have both been kind of speaking throughout this series, that we're a little bit surprised with your guys' series count. I mean, being 1 and 3 so far in 2 or 3, but you guys are looking incredibly strong as a team, though, being able to take really strong performances. What is just the overall kind of mindset with everyone? Are you feeling a lot better than what your series is showing?
I think we were trying to be consistent. That was our. Oh wait, it's very noisy. Guys. Okay. First of all, we're trying to build ourselves as to being consistent. That's why it took us some time before reaching that point. So I think for now we were able to see our mistake and realize our mistakes from then. So we were able to grow up from that point. So that's why I think for now we're doing better than before. And we're looking forward, even if yeah, it's a low chance to be in the upper division for now, but still looking forward for the TI qualifiers.
Yeah, for sure. I want to ask you a question about that game that we just saw as well, where you made a play around the Roche pit. And it was, you started doing Roshan, but then you realized that Neon were probably coming to try and gank you. So you moved out and smoked with everyone except for Carlo. He stayed in the pit to tank the scan if they were looking to use it, and then you made the wraparound. Whose call was that? Because I think that was just a really cool play.
It was like from all of us, and in a way that first of all, it was me who called the smoke, and then Carlo contributed saying that he will be staying there and faking that Russian taking, because we know that we have sentry. So basically, we can fake it when they will scan us. So after that, when we saw them coming, yeah, we called for the smoke. Then Carlo contributed. So basically, it's like the team a team call.
Mm. you also mentioned previously that you wanted to focus around consistency. Can you tell us, was that your mindset from the very beginning of the season, or was that something that changed after what I personally thought was a surprise loss that you had against Summit Gaming? Was that something that you changed just after that series, or was it, or did anything change after that series at all?
It was really just from the beginning. The moment we started playing together, it was our main goal or objective to be consistent. It's just that it takes a while before a team becomes consistent, I think. So that's why. But after the summit game, we've learned a lot as well. Like I think it was our first game, that's why we're quite defensive. And then from that, we learn again from the AG game, and then from the exec game, and from the Lilgan game. So every games that, even if it's a win or loss, we're learning a lot, and we're moving forward, like improving.
Yeah. I have another question actually. I had a look at everyone's profile picture, and you're all Pokemon. Have you just picked your favorite Pokemon, or is it does it mean anything other than that?
Well, actually, the first thing is we wanted an anime. Like the
Hmm.
first thing was the Hunter x Hunter, and then Bok doesn't want to change. That's why we adjusted to his profile picture.
I
Yeah,
see.
he has his
The
long DP already. The Pikachu.
the Pikachu with a flapjack face. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. So you're a grass type main. You're a Bulbasaur main. Is
Yep,
that right?
I'm Bulbasaur. Yeah, that's why I play Trent.
Amazing.
Mavis, I'm intrigued to see how the addition of Krish has been overall, and just because he is kind of one of the least experienced players that you guys have on this roster. So how it has been to kind of develop him in the team.
Well, actually, before we scouted him, I we already saw his potential. Like he has these initiatives in mid that other mid laners doesn't have, even if they're already good in mid. So that's why from that we're building him, like trying to like sync together, and somewhat he's like he's very easy to teach with. So that's why it's very easy for him to improve as well. So I don't think we're having hard time with him, even if he's inexperienced for now. So far, he's improving a lot. Even the Mars hero, like it's just that maybe the hero pool for now, like the problem. But slowly by slowly, we're trying to like improve his hero pool as well.
Cool. Do you mentioned that you wanted to do the whole team cohesion, and even if Bok doesn't change, can you give us any hints about what your next series might be in terms of profile pictures? Which anime you want to go with?
Yeah, I think if we're able to convince Bok, I think we're gonna go with Hunter x Hunter or Kuroko.
Ah, very good. Who's your Hunter x Hunter profile picture?
Yeah, it should be Kurapika.
Ah, very good, very
Mm.
good. Aries doesn't know what we're talking
Weeb
about.
talk.
He is a
Yeah,
normie. He doesn't care about anime, and that is why he's wrong. But unless you have any more questions, Aries, I just want to say thank you very much. You've been very, very lovely to talk to, as
thank
always,
you,
mate.
thank you.
Yes, Mavis, that's it. Any shout outs to any of the fans or anyone like that before we let you go?
For all the people who are supporting TNC, thank you very much. Even if we had a bad start, thank you very much for still being with us and supporting us. We'll promise to do our best to our future games. Thank you very much.
Awesome, Mavis. Thank you for joining us, mate.
Thank you.
There we go, Danog. That is our first series done and dusted. We're going to be moving over to Division 1 in quite some time. But see, with Mavis a little bit is, I think, a nice figure to have, especially for Chris as well. I think one thing you mentioned about being coachable, that's I've come for kind of like a sports background, and a lot of coaches always like to mention that. It's really important to be coachable. You need to be open and need to be you have at least the mindset to look to change, to look to improve. And I think that's a big step for Chris in general. I think probably a big step for TNC as well. I'm seeing a lot of them just, before the games, are always outside talking about it, from what he's saying as well. They're looking back over their, series losses, their map victories. So it really does look like this TNC are doing their best to improve. And we're both seeing them. I think we casted did we cast their last series, I should say, versus Lilgun. They looked very good. There was a couple of, one game where they looked a little bit grim, but definitely a series they could have taken. So I think this TNC is, like you said, a bit of a dark horse for maybe those TI qualifiers.
Yeah. Everyone can improve. That's the thing.
Yes.
Even the absolute best teams, it doesn't matter if it's an esports or just sports in general. And we also really liked at that start, just looking to be consistent. And can I say, Mavis, he's kind of ruling a little bit with the iron fist there at the start of the interview, saying, hey, shut up, guys. I'm talking. This is like giving me Mushi and puppy vibes, you know? It's kind of that most experienced player just laying down the law saying, this is how it's going to be. Make sure you listen. And it seems like the team's respecting him. Like him and Carlo, like he mentioned around that Roche fight, they were the ones making that call, and the team just instantly clicked into gear and went into action. So I'm liking this TNC, and hopefully we get to see a lot more from them.
Yeah, stick around for these TNC lads. Like you said, keep supporting them. They had a bit of a difficult run to organization who, Southeast Asian fans, we've always loved supporting them with how competitive they've been. But it's a roster that might take a little bit of time, but they are looking strong and continuing to develop. So they still have 2 more series again against Atlantis and Made in Philippines. With how they're looking, honestly, they should be able to beat them, which is going to put them into what, 4-3. So
if they do, it's a long way. You know, they haven't looked bad either, those two teams. That's the thing. So I think those are going to be some really interesting series coming up. And even though it might not matter, what are we chuckling
I'm
about?
laughing because you pretty much just said before you're going to give the Danog guarantee that they will not be eliminated, which is pretty much them saying, like, you're going to win those series. So
you're going to win one, at least, I think.
All right.
I don't want to put down Atlantis and Made in Philippines. I think they are both good teams on their day. So I think...
Very true.
You know, I'm a very positive person, as everyone who knows me personally can attest to.
And for me, I'm positive about with how TNC and how they've been looking as well. Are also continuing to grow. They looked exceptional today, just wiping the floor on Neon, just getting 2-0. Unfortunate for them. And now with this Neon roster ran by Chuan, they are 0-4, so really struggling in the summer tour. But we'll see again. They also have a couple of series. Maybe they can bounce back, potentially forcing tiebreakers for that relegation spot. Really, anything can happen. We've seen that prove to be the case, not only in Southeast Asia and other regions as well. But we got plenty of time. Danog, how about we do some closing predictions real quick before we send it over. I think we will be running some replays as well before Division 1 starts. So yeah, let's do some predictions. We've got
Div 1 predictions.
We got
Nigma C RSG and then Boom Polaris. I'm going to say Boom is going to beat Polaris, but I think it's going to be a 2-1. Boom have not been convincing me with a lot of their performances, and I really want them to convince me because I'm just about having the biggest SEA representation at TI. Boom needs to get one of those, honestly, top 2. Third is like manageable, but you got to give yourself a shot to get more points at the major. So I really hope they're able to get to that stage. Polaris, again, kind of like the Neon of Div 1. They haven't had too great of a start to things. The first series, though, that'll be really interesting. I don't know if Dreamer Cell is still going to be playing for Nigma C. We'll have to wait and see once that comes out, or if it's going to be In Your Dream coming back. But I still think that RSG are probably going to take that one. They've looked pretty impressive and might see a couple of 3-game series, I think. 2-1 for RSG for mine, and then 2-1 for Boom.
I reckon it'll be 2-0 RSG and 2-0 Boom. I think Boom are they're going to put the smack down. You know, we got Gary's like, so. Lads, I've had enough. Start winning some games. Stop going these 3 games series. I reckon we'll have, unfortunately, we might have a day where it's just all 2-0s, but also could be different. I know Division 1 really likes going to their game 3. But regardless, this is going to be it for Danog tonight for Division 2. TNC steamroll over Neon. We're going to send it to a long break. Division 1 will be starting in an hour and a bit for the games. Probably panel's going to be up in about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer as well. So you guys will have some reruns before that starts. But next series, watch some anime as well. No one likes anime. Actually, everyone loves anime. I can't say that. I can't say that. I lose too many fans. I am a big anime fan.
Name one Hunter Hunter character that isn't Kurapika.
I love Hunter Hunter. Hunter is an awesome character. And yeah, that's going to be it for us tonight. We will have, of course, Nigma C taking on RSG as our next series. We'll see you guys in about an hour for that one.